Goombas magazine!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Super Mario Odyssey, and here we are in the lashing rain and darkness that is Metro City. And if you've seen the trailer for this particular kingdom, then you know that it's not always this grim, so clearly we've got a little bit of work to do to be able to sort it out. And we are going to start by going up here and having a little chat with the mayor of Metro City, who happens to be Pauline, Mario's ex-girlfriend from the old Donkey Kong games. So a little bit of an awkward chat. She's clearly too busy to kind of stick around and chat with him for too long because her city's in an absolute mess. So we're going to head up here and pick up some purple coins quickly and see what else we can see from the top of here. So you can see straight away there is an electricity cable there. So that's what we're going to use to get down into the main area of Metro City and Newdonk City. So we just need to head down that cable and we will get to the main section. So it's simply a case of jumping on in with Cappy and then you can move on down to the main area. And when you get down here, it is pretty crazy. There is all sorts going on. Not only is it like smashing down with rain, but there is also some tanks firing. There's these crazy little weird bug things that fly at you. They kind of start in a little like a little caterpillar form, and then they transform into the flying bugs and just launch themselves at you. So there's a little bit of work to do in terms of clearing the decks. You've got to get these out the way. I mean, you could just try and work around them, but it's a little bit easier to be able to take them out. So we've also got a couple of purple coins there to pick up, which will come in handy. And there's also a little moped here which you can jump on and have a little run around in. So it's kind of, you're not going to use it very much in this particular part, but later on when you kind of unlock the main area and you're able to come back here, it might come in handy just to have a little bit of a spin around in, or it might be just a little bit of fun. But you can see kind of it's a bit of a mess here. We've got a little bit of work to do to make it a little bit less crazy. We've got to get these tanks out of the way for a starter, and we're going to need to use those tanks to be able to get through to the next part of the game. So we're just going to go around and take out some things and check to see whether or not we can get down any of these little holes. Doesn't look like we can as of yet. So we're just going to try and take out one of these tanks as a starter. So you're just going to flip your cap at it to take over it, and then you can suddenly start launching your own bombs. So you just kind of launch your own cannons to take out any bugs that get in the way. And there we go, there's a few more there, and it really does sort of get them out of the way quickly. And you can see the next section that we're going to need to take on. You can also use the tanks to clear any kind of impediments in the way. So if you've got any blocks that you need to clear, you can fire them at them. And actually they also destroy the cars. So anytime you see a kind of burnt out taxi, then you can use it to clear that out of the way. And you can see there's a heart in there. Amazing detail in this level. Great kind of the steam coming up from the subway. So we're just going to take this tank and leave it out of the way so that when it does wake up, it doesn't start firing at us from behind. And we're just going to head around to this section here and see what we can get. And kind of one of the things we really want to do is be able to get a little outfit that Mario can use. And unfortunately we've got another tank spinning in, so again we're just going to take over it and leave it there to spin for a bit. So we just picked up the heart, and next up we want to head into Crazy Cap to be able to change outfit. So we've managed to get the hard hat, but that's not really what we wanted to get. What we want to get is something that's a little bit more in keeping. So we've gone for a black fedora and excellent pinstripe suit. So now we're in a bit more sort of city attire. So now we look a little bit more like the part, and we're going to take on the rest of this little adventure here. So these moving pylons here are pretty tricky, so watch your step getting on those, and there you can see kind of only just managed to stay on it. So we're just going to head on over, just edge your way over, and then you've got some more Goombas who managed to get in a little hit. So we're taking a little bit of damage here, but that's not such a big deal. So we've got another Goomba coming our way over here, so we're just going to head up here and jump on top, and suddenly we've got a little bit of a Goomba stack going on. We're also being fired on by a tank, so you just got to be careful of that. And if you can get on top of this one, then we can get ease and get a heart, but obviously we took so much damage that actually it was pointless doing that. But anyway, we're back in charge of a tank. And you can see there are a few things to take out down here. So we've got a few more of the bugs to fire at. We've got more taxis in the way. So we're just going to head out in the tank and start doing some damage here. We've had enough damage done to us, so it is time to start reining in with our own efforts. So just take out anybody that gets in your way with your tank. And you can also take out blocks and these bugs down here. There's not really a great deal to pick up as such, but the tank can also take out these taxis so that you can spin past. We've got another tank up there, and it's kind of a good idea as soon as you see another tank to take it out as soon as possible, because they can get in some damage really quickly while you're trying to focus on something that can't really hurt you so much. So you can also use it to take out posters and pick up coins, and you can see there's a heart in there which we kind of need because we're in a bit of a bad way. Come on Mario, sort it out. Anyway, back out of there, and we're going to take over the tank again because there are a few more nasties up here, and you can see this tank's come back into action, so we'll have to take him out and smash up these little weird bugs over in the corner. And once you come around here, you've got your biggest tank problem so far. You've got a series of tanks all firing at you at the same time, so it's important to try to keep moving, and just as soon as your kind of crosshair comes over a tank, fire and then move again, and you should be able to take them out. And then we can take out any bugs that get in the way. So we've got a few bugs there, there's another little batch of them up in the corner, we've got some blocks that are in the way, we can kind of see what's underneath then, another little batch of bugs there, and you can see kind of you can fire one and take out about 4 or 5 of them at the same time if you get your timings right. So we've just taken another speed travel, another fast travel zone there. It's construction access, and we've got a heart. Not that we need any more hearts, but you know, it's always a good idea to pick them up. So just having a little look down this alleyway to see if there's anything useful, and it doesn't look like there is. So now it's time to head up those stairs, and we will be taking on the next part of this particular challenge. So we haven't really come up against any power moons as of yet, but we're hoping we're going to find our first one fairly soon. But it kind of looks like this is more of a narrative driven level, a narrative driven platform where we've got to take on the kind of the main battle to be able to unlock the level a little bit easier. So now we're just taking on the Goombas to see whether or not there's any benefit to having a bit of a stack. So we're just going to head up and around here to see if there's anything cool to pick up. And it kind of doesn't look like there's much around here, in all fairness. So we're just going to take them back and get out so that we can continue up to the next section since we've moved them out of the way. So just drop them down here, jump on out, and then they can never come after you again. So then we're just going to head on around to see whether or not there's an easy way up. You can see we can go up with the electricity wire there, or we can head around here and do some wall jumping. And the reason the wall jumping comes in handy is because it allows you to get to the purple coins that are there. So we just picked up a few more purple coins. We spent the majority of our earlier purple coins on this epic suit that Mario's got. Very cool, Mario. And then we're just going to get the heliport save points. And it looks like we've got our first moon dangling over there, so we're just going to head out and get onto the pylon to be able to try and pick this up. So here we go, just jumping across. It's pretty tricky and it's moving pretty fast, so just be a little bit careful about how you kind of step. Now, it's not that big a deal because you can see there's a whole area down below for you to get to. But if you fall down, then you've just got to keep doing this over and over again, which is a bit annoying. So we're trying to get it first time, which we've done. So just be a little bit careful. And that's the first moon in Metro City that we've come up against. So now we're just going to gingerly kind of trot on back really slowly. You can see how close you can get to the edge there, but we've jumped across and made it. Okay, so now we can head in. Just going to have a look around this building to see if there's anything useful to pick up, which worked out quite well because there's a few purple coins. So just going to do a quick spin around is all, but we're pretty sure we're going to need to go inside the building to be able to take on the next part of this challenge. So just spinning around, and there you can see the Odyssey in the distance. So clearly there's lot of this game still to unlock, a lot of this kingdom still to unlock, and we're inside Newdonk City Hall interior. And here you can see there's a kind of a little bit of a platform. There's some falling blocks ahead, and there's some purple coins and a few Goombas. So we're going to start out by taking out the Goombas, picking up any kind of blocks that we can find. And as it turns out, we don't need any hearts. We're just going to grab the coins and then start moving up just to see if there's anything up above there, but it doesn't look like there is. So we can take these little elevators up and get to the next level. But we're just getting across here to pick up any coins that are here. And sometimes it's a bit frustrating when you kind of head over to something like that and you're like, oh, what's over there? And it just turns out to be a few coins. It's a bit annoying, but anyway, there you go. So we're just getting marauded by a little pack of Goombas, but we've taken those out, and jump on over, and again you've got some more Goombas, and because they're on the lift they're a little bit more difficult to take out, so if you can kind of get your timing just right, then you should be able to get them all in one go. However, we can see some purple coins down here, so we're just going to drop down and spin the hat out to be able to pick those up. So there we go, there's a few more purple coins in the bag, and now it's a case of moving on up and across, and we're just going to grab these purple coins, take out these crazy weird looking kind of bugs that you've got in this level, and then pick up the purple coins that we need. Just about managed to get him there. So now we've got some more Goombas here to take out, so just sort of spin the cap at them and wait for the elevators to come up and down, and then we can jump on. And then you can see kind of you've got to time it so that you get the spin just as the two lifts kind of intersect, and then you can get the Goomba that's in the way, or you could just jump on his head, it's your call. And then we've got a little platform to be able to jump up, so we're just going to head up here and jump on across and pick up the coins that you can see there, as well as grabbing those purple coins down there. So we're just going to skim down, spin around the weird kind of climbing frame thing, and climb back up, and this will take us to the next level where there are yet more of the kind of the falling blocks. So you just got to be a bit careful with those. Jump on across, and again we've got some Goombas trying to get in on the action. And then we can just move up this next climbing area. So just grab these spinning coins, move on up, and then we come to this new section here, and we're just going to jump on across, stop ourselves from falling to our doom. And we're just trying to see if Cappy can do anything with these pillars that kind of jut up, but it kind of doesn't look like he can take over them, and it doesn't look like he can do anything special with them. So we're just going to go up and take on these bugs that are in the way. There's a good kind of few of them, and grab these coins too. So now we can take out these last two bugs that are in the way when this dude starts playing ball. And you can see we've got most things in this area. I think there was some purple coins a little bit further back that we couldn't quite get to, so we'll have to come back to this when we kind of return to Metro City to complete the 100% after the game is complete. And for anybody that doesn't know, you can't complete 100% of the game until you've completed the main game. So we're just kind of focusing on getting through the main game as quickly as possible, so that then we can come back and get all of the power moons and all of the purple coins. Not only do you need to complete the game, but there are also lots of moons that you can't get to in any particular kingdom from the kingdom itself. You have to get to them through other kingdoms by utilizing warp tunnels. So that's another one of the reasons why we're not doing all of the moons in each level. We're just doing the ones that you need to get the Odyssey fired up, and then we'll be coming back and doing the rest of the moons at a later date. So once you get outside of the main city hall, you can then climb up to the next section. So this is where we're kind of at right now. We're pretty high up in the air. There's nothing else around this building for us to pick up, so now it's a case of just heading up to the rooftop of Newdonk City. Now we're just going to try and jump up to see if there's anything to pick up along the way, and it didn't look like there was, but you know, we saw the platform there, so we're just going to jump up to that platform quickly. It is worth it. There are some purple coins, so we're grabbing those purple coins and we're just trying to get out on top of this platform and spin around the corner, run around here, and we have got a few steps to jump up. And once we get to the top of these steps, hopefully we'll see what all the drama is about. And here is the Nasty himself. And so this is a boss battle that we're going to need to take on. So we've made it to the top, we've found this dude, and we're going to need to fight him out. So we're going to head on up and do that after we just had a quick chat with that fella. So now you know what all the drama is about. It's just a case of heading up and taking on the boss. And firstly, you've got to kind of come down here. When you're at the top of the tower, he will knock you off and fire you down here. And then it's a case of taking over this tank and using the tank to be able to shoot out all of its little lights all over its body. And once you do that, you free it up to be able to get in the first of your main attacks. So that's one of the attacks done. And then it goes crazy and manages to do these kind of weird warp things and spins out of nowhere. So he's got some crazy tech capabilities, and he will jump into the wall, and it's a case of following his little lightning through the wall and moving to the left to get out of the way of this attack. And then anytime he comes past you, you're going to need to spin around and see where he's coming from next to be able to move out of the way. So there we go, we got a bit lucky there and moved out of the way. And you can see the lightning kind of crossing the building, so you can track it with your crosshairs, and there he's back to normal. But these flaming balls in the sky that it throws at you will do damage, so try to stay out of their way while you're picking off the rest of these little lights all over its body. So we've got quite a few there, but we're taking a couple of hits from those flaming balls in the sky, so we've got to be a little bit more on it in terms of not getting hit by those. And now we're back to moving out of the way of its main attack. So there we go, we're just going to track the lightning through the building. He's a slippery sucker, he's got some crazy tech, and you can take out these things. And there we've lost 3 lives already, 3 hearts already. So it's tricky to be able to take out all of these, and you need to do it fast, because each one that you leave in action throws up another one of these flaming balls for you to dodge. So you need to take them out as fast as possible is our advice to you. And if you can do that, then you will beat this bug a little bit better. Hopefully a little bit better than we're doing. We're just about staying in the game. It's throwing out another 4, and there we go, we're taking another hit. So those kind of flaming balls that it's throwing in the air are really kind of doing their damage. So that's the kind of last one of its lights to take out. And now you can just pummel it with Tank Blast to be able to finish it off and get the multi-moon, which will take you back to the Odyssey as soon as you take him out. So now we can see it's a little bit clearer. There's not as much crazy rain, and it's not as dark, and we can get into the main section of this kingdom. So now we're just going to head down the electricity wire once again, and we can see a much sunnier outlook on things in Newdonk City. And you can also see the little light shining into the sky in the distance, which is where we're going to head on over to, and it's where the main sort of next challenge is. So you kind of head past all these cool looking taxis. It's pretty much like New York City, which is kind of where we've always imagined Mario to live, and you can see Pauline waiting for us. So pick up that save area, and you can just go over to this drummer and have a little dance with Mario. So you just got to get close enough, and he starts doing a little bit of a swivel step. So just chatting with Pauline, she wants us to pick up these guys, and so if you head over to each one of the musicians that you find, they will give you a little power moon. So there you can see we're up to 5 power moons now, and we're starting to chuck through it a little bit better. So then you're out into the glorious sunshine of the city streets, and you can see all the dudes running around, and it's very unusual seeing a Mario kingdom with normal looking people, with kind of people that look like humans, but we're really enjoying it, and it's a lot of fun walking around Metro Kingdom so far. So just picking up that outdoor cafe kind of quick save point, and you can see there's buildings for you to climb, and we're going to go out and try and get the 20 power moons that we need to be able to get out of this kingdom and move on to the next. And that is a lot, so it's going to take a little bit of time, but hopefully we can move through them fairly fast. And a big part of it in Metro City is doing a little bit of climbing. So kind of if you climb buildings, you will find yourself picking up moons. So we're just going to start by picking up the ones around here. So we're just going to try and head up, and to head upwards, a lot of the times you kind of got to take over these weird kind of flick posts with Cappy to be able to fire yourself up into a new area. So you can see we're getting a little bit closer to the top of this building. However, you can also see a few purple coins down here. So we're just going to pick up those purple coins, and then if you can see just down that ledge, you can also see a few more purple coins. So we're just going to head back down and pick those up, and we are going to jump back up as quickly as possible to the top of this building by just doing a little bit of wall jumping, and we're going to continue upwards hopefully and pick up some power moons in the not too distant future. So just kind of spin around, and you can see the flick post once again. So take over it with Cappy, jump on up, don't fall off, and make it around this corner. And here's another flick post, jump up, flick up, do it a little bit better than us, flip up to the top and grab the ledge, and kind of keep repeating that process until you get to the top of the building. So we're just going to do a little bit of kind of backflip action to be able to make it to the top. And this one you're going to need to flip over to the other side, because you're going to see another musician there, and he's going to give you yet another power moon, and that takes you up to 6. There's 4 musicians to pick up, so we've still got another 2 more to get. So just heading back outside and retracing our steps. So we've kind of taken on this section, and we've taken on this building that's in front of us, and just kind of get out of the way of this taxi, which looks really realistic in all fairness to it, and just kind of, we're going to see if we can fire to the top of buildings using this. It doesn't appear so. So we're just going to try and head up this next building, and actually kind of we can see a little access point here, so we're just going to take out these blocks and see what's in this this kind of walkway here, and it looks like there is a power moon. So happy days. That gives us a total of 7 power moons. 8 power moons actually, so we only need another 12 power moons to be able to make it out of Metro City. But you can kind of see this is one of the biggest requirements of power moons that we've come up against in the game, and it's quite cool that it's in Metro City because it's such a great kingdom to explore. There's so much diversity and so many things kind of going on in this game. You can kind of see we're in a construction site now, and you've got coins to pick up, and you're kind of hovering over nothingness. You can see down below, and you can see another city in the distance. So you can see it feels like a part of this big landscape, which is kind of cool. You can kick those over the edge. Hopefully nobody below is getting hurt, but you know, we're sure that's not the case. So we're going over this pylon and making it over to the other edge, and again it's just a case of kind of shuffling across so you don't fall too badly. And we're going to see if we can find some more power moons now that we're up to 8. And you can see there's a little electricity port there, but you can also see this ledge working around underneath the building will give us 3 more purple coins, and there's another electricity point here. So now we can spin to the top, and we've got more purple coins in the distance. And if you jump up here to the top of here, you can see there's more purple coins to pick up. So we're just going to kind of head across to grab those, and there you can see the other purple coins across there that we saw. And over on the other side of this building, it doesn't look like there's a great deal. There's no purple coins, there's not much going on, there's no blocks to pick up. However, in the corner you can see some glowing bins. When you get rid of the glowing bins and pound the ground, you get another moon, and we're up to 9 moons now. So we're getting a little bit closer to the halfway point. Although it's kind of worth knowing that we're much closer to finishing off the rest of the moons than you might kind of imagine. So we're just going to flip across here and we're going to grab the rest of these purple coins. There's 2 purple coins down here, and again just take over the flick post, jump to the top of the building and kind of carry on around. Now we're kind of just experimenting with things in terms of the ground pound, because you never know what you're going to get from doing it. Obviously a coin is pretty disappointing from that block, but we're just going to head up. You kick the football, and there is another save point here, a quick travel point here, and we can kind of head across with the electricity, and there's another post, another flick post for us to jump up, so we can get to the top of this building quite easily, take out these, but you can see there are some purple coins back there. So we're going to go back and get those in a little second, and you can see that flick post would just take us to that building once again. So we've already been across there, and we already got the musician over there. It kind of doesn't look like it's good enough a flick to be able to get you all the way across to that building, so it kind of looks like we've hit a bit of a dead end. So we're just going to head back down and try and get those purple coins that we saw just across the way. And to do that, you need to get back into the electricity wire. So fire Cappy in. As you go across, you've got to exit the electricity wire at the right time, or you can just jump down the building. And so we just jumped down the building and managed to get across, and we're going over to this other building here, and you can see there's a little flick post here for you to jump up, and we're just going to jump up and around here, and there's some plants for you to walk across, so you can get around this ledge, and just around this corner there is another way up. So we're just going to take that kind of route up to the next building and jump on up to see what else we can find. And we can see there's a few more purple coins. So this whole section has been mostly about purple coins, and what we really want to do is pick up some more power moons. And you can see the next one is highlighted with the kind of the glowing block that was in the air there to the left hand side. So we're just going to head over in that direction to see what we can find. And there is a power moon in this kind of little racy section, but we're going to come back and get that in another video later on down the line. However, for now we're just going to head over to this manhole, take control of it with Cappy and move it out of the way so that we can jump down into this section. And in this section we should be able to get into a little bit of power moon collection, and there you can see the first one for us to grab there. However, it's not so easy to get to, and there's a bit of a maze, so we need to head on in. You can't get through that glass. It is glass. It doesn't matter how much you kind of stomp at it, and you've got to use Cappy to be able to flip these open. So just fire Cappy at the walls and you should spin them around, and then that's how you make it through the maze. So there you can see it's broken up into little blocks of there's 5 little kind of part moons. You can't use Cappy on these blue blocks, so they won't move. So it's only the yellow ones that you can move. So you've got to kind of orchestrate the movements of them to be able to pick them up. So there you can see we're just about to get the second of these power moon parts, and then we can spin around and take out this piranha plant. And there's another one around here, so we want to be able to get to that. And so if you spin it around one more time, you should be able to just head on around, and suddenly we've got 3 of the power moon parts. And then we're around this section, just wait for this piranha plant to get in its hit, and then we can nudge it out the way, and we want to get into that one there. So we're just going to spin on around and take out the piranha plant and get that power moon part. So we now only need one more to be able to pick up the full power moon. So we just need to head on around here, get this piranha plant out of the way, and there's the final one, which sends us a power moon over here to pick up. So you've got to kind of retrace your steps a little bit to grab those. So just kind of head back through the maze as quickly as you can. It should be relatively easy now that you've kind of made it through once. So just the case of flipping open the doors and grabbing the power moon. So we are up to a 10. We're halfway through. However, if you were paying attention, you will see over the other side of here that there is another moon to grab. So you just kind of jump over the top, pick it up, and you can grab that moon, and suddenly we're on to 11 and we're getting through this a little bit quicker. So we can grab that flower, that kind of jump flower, and jump back out, and we're back out here where the little racetrack was, and we want to go back and continue to pick up the rest of the musicians, but we're just going to have a little look to see whether or not we can see anything more up here before we move on to that section. So just heading over to this side, it doesn't look like there's a great deal up here right now apart from some purple coins, so we're just going to grab those. And then down here is the main section where you started a little bit earlier. So you can also see that there is the moped again, so you can jump on the moped and have a little run around. But you can see in the distance there is a musician, so we're just going to grab that musician and pick up that moon, which is 12 moons. And then we're back on the trail to find more musicians and more moons. So there's one more musician for us to pick up, and we're just going to head up here and see what we can find around here. You can see there's a little ledge over on the right hand side, and there is another musician over on the left hand side, over across on the island. But we're going to head across here first because there's quite an easy moon for us to pick up just underneath here. So before we do that, we're just going to try and get those blue coins, and you can see you're going to need to throw Cappy out, and if you hold Cappy, he will stay out in kind of the distance a little bit longer, and so you can throw him out, hold Y for longer, and then jump on it and be able to make it across. It's a really tricky move to try and do, so you might want to practice it a little bit lower down before you move up. And then you can jump down here and pick up this moon, which is our 13th moon, and then hopefully we can just head on across and grab the musician over the other side, which will complete the 14th moon and also complete the kind of the musician bit to allow Pauline to get her crazy festival underway. So you can see over there, there's the musician, and you can see there's also an electricity wire for you to travel across. So just kind of jump on across, smash yourself into the electricity wire and fire over. You should be able to access this this kind of fast travel point and get this musician and his power moon. So we're up to 14 now, and that is all of the musicians needed to be able to move on to the next section. But Pauline has said that to be able to create the festival, they need power, and they've got like a bit of a power problem. So we need to get underneath the city to be able to find the power plant. So apparently this dude is telling us that we need to look underneath the kind of the big manholes. Now we're just going to have a look around to see whether or not we can find them. And if you head over here to the right hand side, you can see a big manhole has appeared for us to take over, move out of the way and jump on down. So we're going to go down there and sort out the power plant now. So kind of when you spin down, you come out of this pipe, and you can see that's the power plant main section. So we need to get that firing, but to do that we need to head on through. So we're just going to head on through, but actually we're just going to head back here. We kind of saw a little block here just to see if there's any purple coins. It doesn't look like there's any purple coins, there's just normal coins for us to pick up. So we're just going to jump back over and sort of do a double check down here. And again, it just sort of looks like it's just normal coins for you to grab there. So heading back through the pipe and into the next section, this is pretty tricky. So here you kind of activate these spinning blocks utilizing those switches, and you've got to jump on and get across. Now that's not necessarily so difficult with the first one, but as you get later into this section, it becomes increasingly more difficult. And there you can see it's stopped for us to go across, and then you've got piranha plants that are firing their kind of weird poisonous sick at you. So kind of clear that out of the way, and we want to be able to jump on across here. So again, kind of, if you fall off anywhere here, you will just instantly die and start back right at the beginning. So it can get a bit frustrating if you can't get it right. So we're just going to get these coins here by firing Cappy out and jump on across to continue the action. So just having a look around, and that's where we need to get to. It doesn't look very far away, but you can see in the distance a double spinner, and that is a bit more complex. So we're just going to take out this piranha plant first and head on around. So just taking out the kind of the weird poisonous sick as much as possible, and these crazy bugs as quickly as you can. And there you go, you can see you can activate these utilizing Cappy. So then we can jump on up and try to get the well, number one, we want to get the purple coins, so we're just going to need to activate all of that again, and we've got some purple sick for us to get out of the way, so kind of clear the sick, fall on down, jump on down, spin these into action, get back on, take yourself towards the edge, and then you've got to fire out Cappy at the right time to be able to get those purple coins. So if you head back over to this section, fire out Cappy now, you should be able to do it. And hopefully we can just do a quick backflip up here or a ground pound jump to be able to get up, which we can. Take out these bugs, grab some coins and hearts along the way. Not that we need a heart at the moment, but you know, it's always kind of good to grab those whenever you can. And then grab these coins, and this is the toughest section in this game. Now, don't be tempted to just jump straight onto this thing because it's just moving too quickly. So that's one rotation. This is its second rotation around, and it's just about to start its third rotation, and it slows down as you go. And after the third rotation, it gets slow enough for you to be able to make it across. If you go any earlier, you will not make it across. And you can see Pauline has made it down as well, which is pretty impressive because it was pretty tough making down here. And you've got two giant piranha plants to take out with their crazy poisonous sick. And it's just a case of getting as close as possible, firing Cappy at them, and you should be able to take them out. You just got to avoid its sick throws. Throw Cappy at it, make sure you kind of don't tread on any of its purple sick, and you will get the star. So that takes us up to, I think, 15 stars, and we've got the power moving again, or we will get the power moving again by pounding on this little switch at the top here, which became activated, and suddenly we are back in power in Newdonk City. So now we can have our little festival, and we're going to kick that off now. So within the festival, there's essentially this big, long, crazy kind of 2D effort, which is relatively easy and finishes up with kind of a bit of a challenge against Donkey Kong. And once you make it through all that, and it is relatively easy, you will get another multi-moon, and that takes us up to 18 moons, and now we only need to grab 2 more. So kind of the challenge is to grab 2 as quickly as we can to be able to get the Odyssey back into the air. So we're kind of jumping back down to this main section, and we're just kind of having a look around, and you can see on top of this building, which is the main hall, which looks a bit like the Empire State's building, you can see a moon right at the top. So we're just going to kind of quick travel back over to that section and jump down here. So here you can see some purple coins, and you can also see the wire. Now we want to trail that wire down to be able to get into it, which is here, and that will take us all the way up to the top. So you have to go down to be able to go up, and then it's a case of climbing. And you get to here and you think you can't make it, but you can. You can just about hang on to this little kind of really slender ledge here, and once you get up to here, Mario goes into climbing mode, and you can jump on up and keep climbing to the very tip top of this building and pick up your 19th power moon. And once we've got the 19th power moon, we're going to do a crazy move to pick up number 20, and you can see that little strip just below the building. We're just going to take a running jump all the way down to the very bottom, and this is kind of probably one of my favorite jumps in the entire game. You land all the way down here and you will find Captain Toad, and Captain Toad will give you 1 more moon, and that is the 20 you need. So you can head back to the Odyssey, fire in your moons into the Odyssey, and power up to the next level. And the next level you get kind of a choice. So we're going to take on Seaside Kingdom next. So that is the end of our walkthrough video, guys. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button as much as you can. If you've got any questions about that level, or if you've got any questions about any part of the game, give us a shout in the comments below. Don't forget to share the video. Thanks guys for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Cheers, goodbye. Magazine!